Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of biology. And of course today we are going to be looking at the nutrient cycle and what ecological management. Okay, so please do not forget that these tutorials, that this episode, all of them, they are brought to you by the O3 Schools application. If you have made a decision to pass your exam at once, okay, or you have written, you have written JAMB before, okay, and then you are tired, and you want this one to be your last JAMB, please jump on the application, download the O3 Schools app from Play Store, from App Store, on your computer system. Practice like your life depends on it. Follow our videos, our tutorials. You have no single problem. I tell you that, okay? So please ensure you jump on the bandwagon of success. All right, so I will talk about the app in a moment. Let us see a past question from the app, from the JAMB app. This is a 2019 question, number 39. It says here that, which of the following is a nitrifying bacterium? Which of the following is a nitrifying bacterium? A says the rhizobium, B says the mycobacterium, C says the azotobacter, D says the nitrosomonas. All right, so if you don't know it, you don't know it. That's why you're supposed to learn first. Because at O3 schools, we believe in teaching you first. So that after we have taught you, answering question will be the list of your problems. Trust me. Okay, so please ensure you download the O3 Schools app from Play Store. All right, the app has everything you need to succeed in your exam. All the past questions for all the subjects are on the application. All right, so you don't need to go and buy any past question outside. Save that money, all right, if you have the app. Likewise, it says also what a question search feature, just like the way we search for this question now. We just went to the app, click on question search, then selected what's it called? Biology as a subject, then search for nutrient cycle. Okay. Anywhere that JAMB or WAEC was set the question on what on nutrient cycle will come out for you to answer. All right, it's as simple as that, thereby making you to build confidence whenever you read a particular topic. What's more, also there's a classroom feature. Okay, the classroom feature has JAMB syllabus, the recent one, and then has lecture notes that are structured according to that syllabus. All right, so also in that same classroom, there's a study plan. You can create a study plan, right? So what the study plan does is that it crashes the subject you want to study and what prepares a timetable for you so that you can easily finish the syllabus, right? So it's as simple as that. If you can follow it dedicatively, you will have no single problem. Amazing feature. Also, we have the UTME mock challenge, okay, or the JAMB or the WAEC mock challenge. Every Saturday, students that are writing JAMB and WAEC, they come to the application, they compete to win prizes every Saturday, all right? But the main reason why we do that competition is not because of the prizes. It's for you to get used to what JAMB past questions or WAEC past question, JAMB likely exam question or WAEC likely exam question, as well as familiarize yourself with how JAMB or WAEC set question and put you in place of the examiner and see how he's reasoning. I might want to confuse you. All right, so please ensure you download the application. Okay, and every Saturday you'll be seeing your result release, just like normal JAMB or like normal WAEC. Amazing, isn't it? Of course, there's an activation fee for the app. The app is not completely free. Okay, so please activate your app so that you can get the full benefit of the application. Okay, so if you want to activate, you can message this number on WhatsApp. If you also need this, if you also need the app for your computer system, message this number on WhatsApp. The app is also available for your iPhone devices. Okay, without further ado, let us go to what nutrient cycle. Now, what is nutrient or cycle? All right, nutrient cycle refers to the movement. Nutrient cycle refers to the movement of certain nutrients. Okay, these nutrients could be nitrogen, there could be what? Carbon, there could be sulfur, there could be what? Water, okay, and other what? Elements, okay? So nutrient cycle is what? The movement of what? Of certain nutrient, e.g., like what? Carbon, okay, like nitrogen, like I said, like what? Water, all right, like sulfur, and what? And other elements, okay, from the environment, into various organisms, and then back to the environment, and then back and back into the environment. Okay, so this is what nutrient cycle is all about. The movement of certain nutrients or the movement of nutrients, e.g. carbon, nitrogen, water, sulfur, and other elements from the environment into what? Various organisms and then back again to the environment. So it's like a circle. It's a circle, okay? So it moves from the environment into organisms and then we're back to what? Back to what? The environment again, okay? So it's a what? It's a circle. It's a circle. Just like when we're talking about our food chain, isn't it? We say that what? If you have what? Grass, okay? Grass, then let's say a goat eats what? The grass. Then man what? To eat what? The goat. Okay, we know this is a food chain, isn't it? We know it's a linear relationship, okay? Then man will die, like we said, and then what? Decomposers what? We act what? On the man, okay? Then this decompose, once the man has decomposed, okay? It will serve as manure for the grass again. The process repeats itself, okay? Seems like a cycle. So nutrient cycle is what is the movement this time of what? Of nutrients, okay? In this case, the movement of what? Certain nutrients, such as what? This nutrient and other elements from the environment into various organisms and then back again into the environment. And that's why we say that the path along which the atoms, the path, P-A-T-H, the path along which the atoms or elements pass is called a cycle. All right, this is even an exam question. I think if you check your JAMB past questions, you see it. Okay, the path along which were the atoms, okay, or this element, this nutrient, okay, the path along which they pass is called what? A cycle. All right, C-Y-C-L-E. So this is all about what? Nutrient what? Cycle. Okay, refers to the movement of certain nutrients, e.g. carbon, nitrogen, water, sulfur, and other nutrients from the environment into various organisms and then back again into the environment. And we say that the path along which what? The atoms or elements pass through, okay, is called what? The cycle. So now I'm going to look at some nutrient or cycles. Now we're going to basically look at what? Three. So we're going to look at carbon cycle. We're going to look at water cycle. And then we're also going to look at, very importantly, nitrogen cycle. Okay, once we're done with this, we'll now talk about ecological management. Okay, so please let us begin with with carbon cycle. Okay, but before we begin, we have discovered that a lot of you do not support our endeavor. Okay, all right, you do not like our video, you do not subscribe to our channel, you do not share our link to your friends and loved ones. You don't even tell people about the app and you have it and you're using it and you love it and you like it. Okay? That is very, very bad. I haven't heard that some people they don't go swear. Say, for our family, we know they like video. It's very, very, that thing you are doing is very bad. Please click on that like button right now because liking the video will make this video to be suggested to other students. Okay, please ensure you click on that like button. Stop everything you are doing and do it before you continue. Also, copy the link of the video, whether you're watching from Facebook or TikTok or YouTube. Copy the link of the video and share to your friends and loved ones. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel because once you release a new video, you'll get notified. If you're watching from TikTok, follow us on TikTok. From Facebook, follow us on Facebook. Okay, that's the only way you can support us. All right, because if you say Mona give us money, I'm not gonna give us money. Now, stingy you. But let us continue now. So let us begin with what? With carbon cycle. Carbon what? Cycle. Okay. So carbon cycle has to do with what? With the series of processes through which was carbon what is circulated. Okay. So that's why I say that carbon cycle refers to the series of what? Processes which brings about the circulation, of what? Of carbon compounds in nature. Okay, so carbon cycle refers to the series of processes It refers to the series of processes which brings about what? The circulation of what? Of carbon compounds, okay, in what? In nature. It's as simple as ABC, right? All the processes that what? That brings about what? The circulation of carbon compounds in nature is what we know as what? As carbon what? Cycle. And very importantly, carbon is continuously being removed. Carbon is continuously being removed from and then also added to the carbon dioxide, CO2, in the atmosphere. Okay, so carbon is continuously being removed from the atmosphere and then added to the what? To the CO2. Okay, carbon is continuously being removed from the environment and what? Added to the what? To the CO2 in the what? In the atmosphere. All right, and you should know that what? Carbon is very, very, very important because what? Carbon, okay, is the main element. Okay, in the compounds that make up living organisms. Okay, it is the main element, okay, in the compounds that make up what? Living organisms. That's why carbon is very, very, very important. All right, that's why we need to recycle this nutrient. All right, so now let us quickly look at the processes, okay, involved in the carbon cycle. Okay, so let us say what? Processes. Carbon cycle processes. Now, the process of carbon cycle. Number one, carbon cycle is mainly removed from the air through the process of photosynthesis. Okay, through which plants use it to manufacture their food. Okay, you know that carbon dioxide is also a raw material for photosynthesis. All right, so it is lost. Okay, plants gets it during photosynthesis, and then they use it to manufacture their food. So number one, which is what the A part, is that what? CO2, which is what? Carbon dioxide or carbon dioxide, is removed from the air mainly by what? Photosynthesis. Please take note of, okay, it's an exam question as I think like that. Okay, so carbon dioxide is removed from the air mainly by photosynthesis, during which what they use it to manufacture their food, during which plants use it to manufacture their food. Okay, so that is what one. CO2 is removed from the air mainly by photosynthesis. Okay, carbon dioxide is removed from the air mainly by photosynthesis, during which plants now use it to manufacture their food. Then number two, carbon is also lost. Carbon is lost in form of carbonates of what? Of calcium and magnesium. And let me put it here, and magnesium. Okay, due to what? To drainage and leaching. Okay, so due to what? Drainage and leaching, carbon is also lost, okay, in the form of what? Calcium and what? And magnesium. Okay, due to what? The process of leaching. Okay, so these are what? The two ways. All right, but then how does the atmosphere, okay, gain the oxygen? These two ways, okay, are ways in which they lose the carbon dioxide. Okay, now how does the atmosphere now gain this CO2 back? Okay, recycle this nutrients. Okay, because carbon dioxide, all right, is lost. It's lost through photosynthesis. It's lost during the process of leaching, okay, and drainage. Now, how can the atmosphere gain this carbon back? Okay, and there are so many ways that they can do this. Number one is burning of fuel. Okay, number one, burning of of fuel. Okay, like coal, like this is fuel. Okay, like what? Like a coal, all right, or wood, like coal or wood. All right, so when we burn coal or when we burn wood, all right? You see that carbon dioxide is what is gotten back, okay, by the atmosphere. All right. So this is what one way. Also, number two, the action of volcanoes. Okay, the action of volcanoes also what release CO2. Okay, the action of volcanoes, you know what volcanoes are, right? So if you did geography in your secondary school, there's no way they will not what tell you what about volcanoes. Okay, you must have heard of volcanic eruptions. Okay, so the action of what volcanoes, okay, also what releases CO2, okay, which is what the carbon dioxide. So burning of fuel, like what, like coal or wood, the action of volcanoes, also what released was CO2, also respiration. Okay, number three, respiration by plants and animals. Okay, it's also what another way that the atmosphere what gains what is supply of what of CO2. Okay, so when we respiration, you know what we breathe in oxygen, then what we take out what carbon dioxide. Okay, so during respiration, all right, then we see that what this CO2 escapes, and then what is what taken back to the atmosphere. Then also number four, the death, okay, the decay and putrefaction of plants and animals. Okay, so the death, the decay, and putrefaction of what of plants and animals. Okay, it's also another way that the atmosphere gets its own supply of what of CO2. Okay, so and then we also have one more, which is the diffusion of what of CO2 from what from seas. Okay, and other water bodies. So five, diffusion of what of CO2 from seas and what water what bodies, okay, which act as what as a reservoir, which acts as a reservoir for what for CO2. Okay, so these are the ways that the atmosphere what gets its own what supply of what of CO2. Okay, this is the way it's what it is lost. Okay, through photosynthesis and what due to the process of what of leaching. Okay, and what and drainage. Okay, so carbon is what is lost in the form of carbonates and what in the form of carbonates of calcium and magnesium. Okay, this is the way the atmosphere loses what CO2. But these are the ways that the atmosphere gains it back. Okay, so when we what carry out the action of what burning fuel, like coal or wood, the action of volcanoes releases CO2, okay, during volcanic eruption. Respiration also by plants and animals, okay, we breathe in oxygen, take out carbon dioxide. Also the death, decay, and putrefaction of plants and animals, and also the diffusion of CO2 from seas and waters and water bodies, which act as what, which acts rather as reservoir for what for CO2. All right. So now we're going to what? This is all about what carbon cycle. Okay, I'm showing you a diagram of what a carbon cycle currently. Okay, to see how this process what happens. Okay, just a little illustration of how it happens. Now let us now go to what to water cycle. Okay, water cycle. Please ensure you like this video. Please like the videos. Download the app, especially download the app. The WAEC app, the JAMB app, download them, have them. I don't care if you have 100 apps in your phone. You see this OT Schools application, right? It's one that you should never not have in your phone, okay? So please get them and then follow our tutorial. Should be good. Then let us now see what water cycle now. So now what is the water cycle? So water cycle is the continuous movement of water. Okay, from what? From the earth to the atmosphere, okay, through a process known as what? Evaporation. And then again from the atmosphere back to the what? To the earth. This time in a process that we call what? Precipitation. Okay, so that is what? Water cycle, continuous. Okay, well, our continuous what movement of water from the earth to the atmosphere, known as evaporation, and then from the atmosphere back again to the earth, all right, known as what? Precipitation. It's a circle. Okay, it's a circle. So now let's quickly see the processes that are involved. Okay, processes involved in water cycle. All right, so let us see processes involved in water cycle. So number one is what is evaporation. Okay, so from our water bodies, water, when sun don't mama water, okay, you see that it will evaporate. Okay, so it go to what? To the atmosphere. Okay, as water vapor. So number one is what? Is evaporation. Okay, I'll say that what? Water changes from liquid. Okay, like in our oceans, in our rivers, from oceans, rivers, lakes, to water vapor. To water vapor. Okay, which is what? Gaseous now. Okay, when the sun, okay, due to what? Sun. Due to the sun. Okay, so that is how what water escapes, okay, from the earth to the what? To the atmosphere, all right? So sun heats what? Water. As it heats it, then what? Water changes from liquid to what? To gas, which is what we call this water vapor here. All right, so that is number one. Then now number two, we now have what? Transpiration. Okay, so water vapor also escapes. Transpiration. This one is a process by which what? Plants, okay, lose what? Water to the atmosphere, okay, from their leaves. Okay, so through transpiration, okay, water is lost to the atmosphere through the leaves of plants. Okay, so this one, plants release water vapor into the air through their leaves. Okay, so through what? The leaves of plants, water vapor is what? Released also into the atmosphere. Then also we have a condensation. All right, now this water vapor that is what's released to the atmosphere will now what? Cool. Okay, it will cool down. Okay, know that it has been heated up. So when it gets up, it cools down. Okay, and then it now forms what? Droplets. Okay, now forms what? Cloud. It forms cloud. Okay, and then when all those clouds now come together, is what now falls back as rain. Okay, as precipitation that we're talking about. Okay, so now condensation, importantly, water vapor cools and then changes into tiny water droplets, okay, which now forms what? Cloud. Tiny water droplets, okay, forming cloud. Okay, so this is what happens, okay, during condensation. The water vapor cools and then changes into tiny water droplets. And then now, if you look up, you now be seeing cloud. Okay, and then after condensation, now have a precipitation. The precipitation is one that we call rainfall. Precipitation. Okay, so in precipitation, what happens basically when cloud droplets combine, and after they combine and then what? Become heavy. Okay, they now fall as what? As rain. Okay, so during precipitation, the cloud droplets will combine. All right, when they combine, okay, still up there in the atmosphere, then what? They will become heavy. Then you now see everywhere that say they want fall. Okay, they will become heavy. All right, then and fall as rain, as you know it to be. They may fall as what? As snow, SNOW. They may fall as what? As what? As hail, HAIL. Okay, so that is what? Precipitation. When cloud droplets combine and become heavy, okay, and fall as rain. Okay, they can fall as rain. They can fall as sleet also. Okay, they can form as sleet. They can fall as sleet. Okay, so that is what? Precipitation. And after precipitation, we now have infiltration. Number 5, infiltration. Some water now what? Seeps. SEEPS, seeps into the ground and now saved as ground water. Okay, so in infiltration, okay, what happens is that what water will seep into the ground and then to now be saved as what as groundwater. Okay, then of course, definitely after infiltration, we now have what runoff. See, runoff. Okay, water flows here into our rivers. Okay, into our what rivers. Okay, and then and then runs off to what to the ocean, then to the oceans and seas. Okay, so this is what happens what during what the run off stage. Okay, so water flows back into our rivers, to the oceans and the seas. Now evaporation, water changes from liquid to what to gas. Okay, due to what the heat of the sun. Transpiration, plants lose water vapor from the leaves of the plant of their plants. Condensation, water vapor cools and then what changes into tiny water droplets. Then it forms the cloud. Then precipitation, when cloud droplets combine and become heavy, they now fall as rain. Okay, they can fall as snow, they can fall as sleet or hail also. Then infiltration, some water seeps into the ground and then they are now saved as water, groundwater. Then runoff, water flows over the land or surface. Okay, water flows over the land surface to our rivers, then from the rivers to what to the oceans and seas. Okay, so this is what water cycle in a nutshell. All right, water cycle in a nutshell. So next up we're going to look at what the nitrogen cycle. Okay, but first of all, what is the importance of what of this water cycle? Number one, it has to distribute fresh water on earth. Okay, it helps to number one, please take note of that, to distribute fresh water on earth. Okay, and also water cycle also helps to what to support what both plant and what an animal. Okay, number two, to support both plants and animal life. Okay, and then also number three, it helps to number three helps to regulate climate. Okay, so these are what the importance of what of the water cycles. Okay, distributes what fresh water on earth, supports what both plant and animal life, and also helps to what to regulate what climate. Okay, these are what the advantage or the usefulness of what of the water cycle. Please take note of all of these. Okay, the continuous movement of water from the earth to the atmosphere, and then from the atmosphere back to the earth. Okay, so let us now go to what to the nitrogen cycle. Okay, the nitrogen cycle. It's more interesting. Okay, just also the continuous movement of what of nitrogen. Nitrogen is very, very important. Okay, information of our proteins. Okay, so they are very, very, very important. All right, so now let's look at what the nitrogen cycle now. The nitrogen cycle. Now, although nitrogen has the highest percentage, okay, or the largest percentage of air, okay, we look at the composition of air, all right, we know that 8% goes for nitrogen, okay, 21 goes for oxygen, then carbon dioxide 0.03, then the other ones are your rare dust particles, rare gases, and the likes. Okay, so now despite the fact that nitrogen occupies the largest percentage of air. Okay, nitrogen, which is this N2, nitrogen gas, cannot be utilized directly by living organisms. Okay, take note. All right, nitrogen cannot be utilized. It cannot be utilized. Okay, by living organisms. Okay, it is present in the soils in the form of nitrogen compounds. Okay, so nitrogen is present in the soil in the form of of nitrogen what compound. So it cannot be directly what utilized. It cannot be directly utilized by what by living organisms. It has to be converted, okay, to some form of what nitrogen compounds before it can be what utilized what by living organisms. Okay, so now I'm going to look at what the processes involved, okay, in the nitrogen cycle. Okay, and number one, the first process I'm going to look at is nitrogen fixation. Okay, you need to first of all convert that nitrogen in the air to what? To a nitrogen compound so that it can be utilized. Okay, so that's why number one we have nitrogen fixation. Okay, I don't want to draw nitrogen cycle on the board. Okay, I'm showing you a nitrogen cycle currently. Okay, so just see what happens. Okay, what happens in that cycle. All the steps is what we're going to look at. You can use that diagram to avail yourself what the nitrogen cycle looks like. Okay, so nitrogen fixation. Okay, which is what the first one, which is what the conversion of the nitrogen gas, which is what the N2, okay, into what nitrogen compounds like what? Like ammonia, NH3, or what even the ammonia ion. Okay, now which can now be eventually be used, okay, by plants. Okay, so nitrogen fixation primarily involves the conversion of nitrogen gas, okay, from the air into what? Ammonia, which is what? This NH3, or what? Ammonium. Okay, which is what? Well, this NH 4 plus, okay, which can eventually, all right, be utilized. Okay, so that is that about what nitrogen fixation. Okay, and of course we also want some living factors, okay, that can help in this conversion. They also have some non-living factors. Okay, the non-living factor is what? Lightning, okay, or thunderstorms. Okay, so through that process it can help in fixing a nitrogen gas into nitrate. Okay, lightning or thunderstorm can help to fix nitrogen into nitrate. Okay, they also have some living factors. Okay, number one among them is the rhizobium. Okay, this one is a symbiotic bacteria. It's a symbiotic bacteria in root nodules of leguminous plants. In root nodules of leguminous plants. Okay, example is beans. Okay, you usually see them in the root nodules of plants like beans, like peas, like groundnuts. Okay, so that is what the rhizobium. Please take note, it's very important to. So rhizobium, okay, is a symbiotic bacteria that are present in the root nodules of leguminous plants. Okay, you can find them in plants like beans, like peas, okay, like groundnut. Likewise, we have azotobacter. Okay, this azotobacter is free living in the soil. Okay, you can see it freely living in the soil. Okay, this one is free living in the soil. Okay, so that is what azotobacter. We have rhizobium, we have azotobacter. They also have clostridium. Okay, also have clostridium. Okay, this one is an anaerobic nitrogen fixer. Anaerobic, sorry, not anaerobic. You know what anaerobic is now? Anaerobic nitrogen fixer. Clostridium is an anaerobic nitrogen fixer. Okay, so all of these are they are living factors. Okay, they are living factors. Also have the cyanobacteria also. It's also another one. Okay, so they are living factor that can convert nitrogen gas into ammonium compound that can be utilized. Okay, so cyanobacteria like nostoc, cyanobacteria like not stock. Okay, also have anabina and water. All of those, they are what? They are living components that can what? Help to convert what's it called? This nitrogen gas, okay, from the air into what? Into ammonia that can now be eventually utilized by what? By living organisms. Okay, so that is that for that about what the first what stage, which is what? The nitrogen fixation. Now the next step is what? Is nitrification. Okay, so after nitrogen fixation, it's now what? Nitrification or nitrification. All right, so nitrification. Number 2, nitrification. Now, this nitrification involves the conversion of ammonia, okay, which is what? Your NH3, into, first of all, into nitrites. Okay, your nitrite is what? NO2 minus. And then from nitrite, is now what's being converted to what? Nitrates. Okay, which is what? NO3 minus. Okay, so this is what happens in what? In nitrification. It's a 2-step what? Reaction. And this is what? This is helpfully done by soil bacteria. Okay, so it's a 2-step reaction that sees what? The ammonia, okay, being converted to what? To nitrite first. And then from nitrite, it's now being converted to what? To nitrates. Okay, so now let us see. We say nitrification, right, involves the conversion of ammonia into nitrites. Okay, which is what now? NO2 minus, and then into what? Nitrates. Okay, which is what now? NO3 minus. Okay, so that is what nitrification was in a nutshell. All right, so now for the first step, that is 2 steps. So step one, you see what? Ammonia being converted to what? To nitrite, to what? To nitrites. Okay, and then of course that is what? NH3 to what? NO2 what? Minus. Okay, and what bacteria? It is done by bacteria. What bacteria does this? It's what's called the nitrosomonas. So from the conversion of ammonia to nitrite, what does this is what? Nitrosomonas. Okay, we also have nitrosococcus. Okay, nitrosococcus also what does this? Nitrosococcus. Okay, you said that nitrosomonas or what? Nitrosococcus. Please take note of them. Take note of them. If they were not important, I would have what? Told you so. Now, the second step, this is step 1 now. Step 2, for step 2, this is step 1. Okay, we now have what? This nitrite now being converted to what? To nitrates. Okay, that is what? NO2 minus being converted to what? NO3 what? Minus. Okay, so now, what does this? What bacteria is what? Is helpful in doing this? The bacteria that does this is what? The Nitrobacter. Okay, Nitrobacter is one that converts nitrite to what? To nitrates. Okay, please take note of that. So that is what nitrification in a nutshell. Conversion of ammonia into first nitrite, and then from nitrite into nitrates. Okay, and for the first step, nitrosomonas helps in the conversion of ammonia into what? Nitrite, while what? Nitrobacter helps in the conversion of nitrites into what? Into nitrates. Okay, so now the third process is called assimilation. So this nutrient has to be what? Has to be absorbed, okay, by what? By the plant. Okay, so the plant will absorb this nutrient, and then we in turn, okay, animals will eat what? The plant. Okay, so that is that for that. So number 3 is what? Assimilation. Number 3, assimilation. Okay, so what happens is that what? The plants absorb what? This what? Nitrite. Okay, so the nitrate, which is what now? The NO3 minus, okay, from the soil, and uses it to what? To make protein. Okay, uses it to also make what the nucleic acid. Okay, and what and the likes. Okay, and then what happens is that what man will now come and what and now will eat what the plant, or animals what will eat the plant, so they can also what get what protein from what from the plant. Okay, so that is what the assimilation what process. That is the assimilation process. So now the fourth process is called ammonification. Okay, ammonification. So let us see the fourth process, ammonification. Ammonification. Please ensure you like this video, subscribe, and share to your friends and loved ones. Okay, all right. So now ammonification or decomposition is the next step, which is what number 4. Ammonification or decomposition. So in decomposition or ammonification, what happens is that decomposers will come into action. Okay, decomposers, they will break down what organic matter that may be dead remains of plants or animals, your feces, your urea, and what convert it back to what to ammonia. Okay, so that's what happens basically in ammonification. This is aided by some bacteria and fungi, which we are going to see. So basically, this involves what breakdown, decomposers will break down organic matter. Maybe what dead remains of, it could be plants, could be animals. Okay, it could be what urea, could be phases into what ammonia, ammonia. Ammonia is what your NH3. Okay, so that is that. So ammonification or decomposition involve the decomposer breaking down what organic matter into ammonia. Like I say, it is being aided by some bacteria and fungi. So bacteria that aids what this ammonification, example is what is bacillus. Then you also have Pseudomonas. Okay, so that is what the bacteria that aids this ammonification or decomposition. Okay, it's called bacillus or Pseudomonas. Also, we have a fungi that aids this. Fungi that aids this is Aspergillus. Okay, and then what Penicillium. Okay, so the fungi that aids this ammonification or decomposition is what Aspergillus. An example is Aspergillus and what Penicillium. Please take note of all of these organisms that are involved in each of these stages. Okay, so now after ammonification and decomposition, they will now go to denitrification. Okay, which is number 6 now. Denitrification. That's number 5. Sorry. Denitrification. Okay, and then this denitrification involves the conversion of nitrates, NO3 minus, back to nitrogen gas or nitrous oxide, N2O. Okay, so can I convert this back to nitrogen gas or nitrous oxide, and then it goes back to the atmosphere. So you see, it's a circle. It's a circle. Okay, what goes around comes around in the circle. Okay, so that's what happens in denitrification. Okay, so what am I saying? In denitrification, it involves conversion of nitrates back to nitrogen gas. Okay, so we see conversion of of nitrates, which is your NO3 minus, back into nitrogen gas. Okay, or nitrous oxide, which is your N2O. Okay, and this escapes. All right, you can say which escapes into the atmosphere. Okay, and of course, definitely there's some organisms that are involved in this conversion of what's it called, of nitrates into what, into nitrogen, into nitrogen gas, or what, nitrous what oxide. One of them is what, Pseudomonas denitrificans. Okay, this organism here, Pseudomonas denitrificans. Okay, also have the Bacillus denitrificans. Okay, so that's the enzyme that helps to convert what, this water, what is it called, the nitrate, back into what, nitrous oxide or nitrogen what, gas. Okay, so that is basically what all about what nitrogen was cycle. Okay, please ensure you take note of all of what these stages, especially know what the bacteria, okay, that are involved. Okay, so in conversion of, first of all, the nitrogen gas in the what, in the atmosphere back to into ammonia. Okay, you use what, lightning, and then some organs, I say some organs, some organisms. So please ensure you know all of them. So now let us now go to ecological management because of time. All right, before I go there, please let me remind you of the need for you to like this video. Okay, like this video, subscribe to this channel, share the link. Okay, burn the winch, share the link. Your friends and your loved ones, all right? And you see yourself succeeding. One of the best ways to succeed is to pray for other people to succeed. If you have a prayer point that has not been answered, pray for somebody, okay, that needs something. You pray for that person. Your own will come. Okay, God will not do that person's own and not do your own. All right, so please like the video. It's very, very important. It's the only way you can help the video to grow, help other people to know that something like this is happening here. Okay, so let us go to what, ecological management. Ecological management. Now, for ecological management, okay, it just basically talks about what the associations, okay, or relationship that living organisms make, so that what they can either maybe get food or what get to a protection, okay, from the other organisms. Okay, so and importantly is that most of what these organisms, or the organisms involved, sometimes one is benefiting from the relationship, other times, okay, both of them are benefiting. Other times, okay, not only one is what is benefiting. For example, maybe your cat, okay, in your house that kills rats. Okay, so that's what an example of, it's a type of association we call predation. I'm going to look at it as number one. So the major point is that living organisms, they go into relationships or associations, okay, for what? For either food or for what? For protection. But in some cases, it is beneficial to only one of the organisms involved, while in other cases, it's beneficial to both. Okay, while in other cases itself, it's beneficial to one, but the other one is not really affected like that. Okay, but in the other case, the other organism is what is affected. Okay, so this is all what we're going to talk about now. But the fact is that sometimes most of these organisms, or the organisms involved, need to generate adaptive features so that they can survive in whatever association that they find themselves. Okay, so now we're going to look at the types of association, and the first one we're going to look at is predation. Okay, like I've hinted just now. So what is predation? You know what predation is now? Like, for example, like I said, like the cat in your house, okay, or if you see many people that own shops, you see that they will have cats. The reason is that rats usually disturb any house, okay, or any shop that has food stuff or fish or those stuff. So those cats, you don't be there to hunt them. You see some shops, you enter some shop, you see them, they have like 4 cats, 5 cats. Okay, they just find rats with they want chop waiting no good. Okay, so that is predation. Okay, in predation, a living organism will look for another living organism and then kill it for food. That is predation. Okay, so the organism that is the organism that is killing the other one is the predator. While the one that is killed is called the prey. Okay, so that is all about the predation. Okay, so in predation is an interaction in which a free living organism, okay, kills another free living organism, kills another free living organism for what? For food, okay? So that is that for predation, okay? The one that is what? The one that is killed is called what? The prey, okay? While the one that kills is called the predator, okay? Not predator energy drink, okay? The one that kills, okay, is called what? The predator, while the one that is killed is called the prey, okay? So now, let us now look at mutualism, all right? Up next, let's see neutralism. Now, for neutralism, okay, this type of association is neither detrimental, it's neither, okay, detrimental or useful. Okay, what I mean that it is not detrimental, neither is it what useful to either population. Okay, so for neutralism, okay, an example is the bird and what? The squirrel. Okay, this bird and the squirrel, they are of the same forest community. Okay, they are of the same forest what community, but this bird and this squirrel, they do not even go in search of the same type of food. Okay, they do not eat each other. Bird does not eat squirrel, squirrel does not eat your bird. Okay, so they are just in the what? In the forest community. All right, it's called what? Neutralism. They are neutral. Okay, they know they drag for anything. Okay, they are just on their own. Okay, they are in the same community and they are not fighting for anything. So this type of association or relationship is neither, we say it is what? Neither useful nor detrimental to what? To either what? Population. To either population. Okay? To either population. Okay, an example, like I said, is what the relationship between what? The squirrel and the bird. Okay? Then thirdly, we now have what? Commercialism. Okay, so now in commercialism we have what? We have two what? Organisms. Okay, so one is benefiting, the other one is not what? Affected. Okay, all right, can you get me? One is what? Is benefiting from the host, but the one that is what? That the host is not suffering anything from what? From the what? From the one which is what? Benefiting. So that is what? Commercialism. All right. For example, the relationship between what? The remora fish, okay, and the what? And the shark. All right. So basically, what the remora fish does, okay, remora, okay, remora fish, and then what? The shark. All right. So what the what remora fish does is to what? Is to go and what? Pick. You know, say when person chop now, the one way fall come off from your mouth, the debris, okay, after the shark has eaten, okay, that is what the remora fish goes to pick. You get? So it seems like it's even helping the what? The shark to what? To clear his or her own dirty. So the shark is not suffering anything, okay? It's not suffering disease, it's not suffering any form of thing, okay, from the remora fish. The shark is not also gaining anything from the remora fish, okay? But the remora fish source is getting food from the world, from the shark, okay? That is the one that we know as what? As commercialism, all right? So one is benefiting, all right? The other one, okay, which is now the host now, okay, is not what? Suffering, neither is it what? Benefiting. That's what we call what? Commercialism. Please take note of what of commercialism. It's very, very, very important. Now, the one that is what? That is benefiting, okay, is one we call what? The commercial. Like this commercial, okay? Okay, this commercial, okay, is what? Is the remora fish, the one that is benefiting. While the host is what? Is the shark that is neither benefiting or losing anything. Okay, so that is what? Commercialism. Now, let us now see the one that you are waiting for, which is parasitism. Okay, parasitism, a type of association. That's number 4 now. Parasitism. Okay, a type of association whereby what? You have what? Two what? Organisms. Okay, one is what? Gaining, the other one no dey gain. If you have those kind of friends, run from them. They are parasites. They be parasites. Will pour spit for the eye. Okay? Pour spit for the eye before they pour for your own. Okay? The one is just gaining. Just gaining. Okay? The other one is not gaining, but is suffering. You see, for commercialism, okay, one is gaining, all right? But the other one, the host now, okay, is not gaining. But still, the host is not suffering. You understand? So that one is very, very okay. Okay? But this one, all right, one is gaining. The other one is not gaining anything, no benefit of no, the parasite is of no benefit, okay, to the world, to the host, okay? But slowly and slowly is killing the host. Okay, so that is what we call what? Parasitism. Those are the kind of people we should run from. Okay, so some parasites, they live what? Outside the body of what? Of the host. Okay, those ones are the ones we call the ectoparasites. Okay, for example, you have what's your tick, your what? Your lice, your fly, all this one that what? They are ectoparasites. They live what? Outside the body. Why the ones that what? Live what? Inside, that live within. Okay, that one we call what? The endoparasites. Okay, so that is that for what? For parasitism. Okay, it's what is a situation where what? One of the organisms what is benefiting, while the other one is what is not benefiting, and the still was suffering. The host is not benefiting and the host is still suffering, okay? And the parasite may end up killing the host. Bad person, okay? So that's parasitism. And all of this what parasites, okay? Basically, they what? They develop adaptive features so that they can, especially the ectoparasites, they develop adaptive features. Okay, so that they can hang on, okay, to the what? To the body of what? Of their host. For example, they have claws. They have claws, okay? Now claws they have claws. They have suckers. Okay? They have what? Hooks. Okay, these are what? Adaptive features, okay, that's what? That the parasites what develop, okay, so that they can what? They can stay. They can what? They can stay hung, okay, to the what? To the body of their host. So that is what? Parasitism. So up next now, look at what? Mutualism, okay, or the one we call symbiosis. Okay, please, we're getting close to the end of the class. Please ensure you like this video. Ensure you subscribe to this channel, okay, and ensure you are sharing to your friends and to your loved ones, okay, please. That's the only way you can help your colleagues who are preparing for this what? Examination. So we have what? Symbiosis, okay, or the one we call mutualism. Now, in symbiosis or mutualism, okay, both organisms that are involved, they benefit what? From each other. Okay, that is kind of relationship that is encouraged. Okay, they benefit from what? From each other. Okay, and in fact, it gets to a point that they cannot do without each other again. All right, a very funny one, a very funny relationship between. We'll look at all of them, but I just want to what? Talk about the hermit crab and the hydra. Okay, what the hermit crab does is that it carries what? The hydra on its back, okay, on the burrowed shell. It carries the hydra on its burrowed shell. This hydra has stinging cells. Stinging was cells, so it can protect what? The hermit crab. Okay, while the hermit crab is getting protection, you know the hydra is getting free ride. Okay, getting free ride, okay, to what? To new places and getting what? More access to what? To food. All right, so it's a very, very interesting what? Relationship. Okay, so but for mutualism generally, both organisms that are involved, okay, basically, all right, they are beneficial. Okay, both organisms are beneficial to each other. All right, so in symbiosis or mutualism, both organisms are beneficial to each other. Now we have some examples of these organisms, okay, that are symbiotic. Please take note of them. They come out very well in your exam. Okay, number one is lichen. Okay, lichen. Okay, this is a beneficial relationship between algae and fungi. Okay, liking is the term I use the word to describe the relationship between what algae and what and fungi. Okay, and what is a mutual what relationship. Okay, it's a symbiotic what relationship. What happens? Okay, now the algae can perform photosynthesis. Algae can perform photosynthesis. And because it can perform photosynthesis, it therefore means that it can manufacture its own food. Abi? And therefore manufacture what food. Okay, so that is what the algae can provide to this what relationship. Okay, so in this my relationship, number one, and they bring food. Okay, you now fungi. Okay, what will you do for me? So the fungi what will provide water and what minerals. Okay, and even shelter. Okay, so what happens is that the fungi protects what the algae from harsh environmental conditions. Okay, the fungi will protect the algae from harsh environmental conditions. Okay, while the algae will in turn perform photosynthesis and what and give the fungi food. Okay, so you go protect me. Okay, you go provide water, minerals, and shelter. Protect me. Then me, I will give you food. Okay, so it's a symbiotic what relationship. So this relationship is what we call what liking. Okay, so liking is a beneficial relationship between algae and fungi. You must take note of that. Also, we also have what we call mycorrhiza. This is number one. Then number two, have mycorrhiza. Okay, this one is a symbiotic relationship too. Okay, but it is between what plants. Okay, plant and what and root and fungus. Okay, between what plant and fungus. Between what plant and fungi, okay, or fungus, okay, is a what? Is a symbiotic relationship between plants and what? And fungi. So now what happens to what? To plant? Plants definitely they can manufacture their food. So plants definitely is bringing food to the table. Okay, so we have what? Plants. Okay, this one what? Will manufacture food. Okay, why what? What do fungi do? Fungi what? Will increase plants' ability to absorb what? Water and minerals. Okay, so that one is called what? Mycorrhiza. It's between what? The plant and what? And the fungus. Okay, so the plant will manufacture food, the fungi, while the fungi will what? Increase the plant ability to absorb water and minerals, thereby making it to be able to produce or manufacture that food more. Okay, so that is that about the second relationship, mycorrhiza. Okay, we also have another relationship which we spoke about when we're talking about nitrogen cycle. All right, so that one is between what? The root nodules of what? Of leguminous plants. Okay, so number three, all right, we have what? The root nodules of leguminous what? Plants. Okay, and what? The nitrogen fixing bacteria. Okay, so the relationship between what? The root nodules of leguminous plants and the nitrogen fixing bacteria is another what? Relationship. Okay, so now number four, the last one is the one between what? The hermit crab and the hydra. Okay, so like we said, the hydra has what? Stinging cells. It has stinging cells, and so it can what? It can sting what? Anything that want to attack the hermit crab. While the hermit crab has what? A burrowed shell. So what it does is that the hermit crab will carry the hydra, okay, and be taking it to enjoying the ride. The hydra will be enjoying ride, okay, job like Uber, okay. The hermit crab be like Uber for the hydra. So or boat. Okay, so the hydra will enter, we book what the hermit crab, hermit crab will be taking me up and down. The hydra has stinging cells, so it will be protecting the hermit crab. So you say what? If you see all of this relationship, they are what? They are all symbiotic what relationship? They are all symbiotic relationship. Okay, so you must take note of all of this what relationship, all of this association. They are useful and they come out in your exam. So let us quickly go to the app, answer questions so that we can leave here. All right, the questions will be too easy now, so if you don't have to answer all of them, please just know that. Okay, so this is 1999, 1999, 1999, number 39. 1999, number 39. It says the sign plus is used to indicate an association where an organism gains, while 0 is used where an organism is unaffected. An association indicated as +0 is known as what? So one is gaining, the other one is not affected, it's not concerned now. It's not losing, but it's not gaining. Okay, A say, is it predation? B say commercialism. C say parasitism. D say competition. Tell me the answer in the comment section. Now we have 2022, number 20. They say that nutrient dash refers to the movement of certain nutrient. Nutrient dash. A say rotation. B say recycling. C say rotating. D say cycling. Somebody will go and choose recycling there. You're on your own. Okay, so tell me the answer in the comment section. Then also have 221 rather, number 30. They say the role of bacteria in the nitrogen cycle includes the following except A say fixing atmospheric nitrogen. B say converting ammonia to nitrite. C say converting nitrite to nitrate. D say converting carbohydrate to carbon dioxide. You should know which one is wrong there, okay? Tell me the answer in the comment section. Also have 2019, number 39. It says here that which of the following is a nitrifying bacteria? Okay, A say rhizobium, B say mycobacterium, C say azotobacter, D say nitrosomonas. Tell me the answer in the comment section. 2018, number 11. It says, which of the following processes remove carbon from the atmosphere? Okay, A says putrefaction of animals. B say burning of fish. C say volcanic eruption. D say photosynthesis. Okay, you know that one now. Answer. Tell me the answer in the comment section. Now you look for these ones. Look for 2018, number 27 on the O3 Schools app. Go to the app. Look for that. Okay, tell me the answer in the comment section. Then look for 2017, number 18. Okay. Then also look for 2017, number 40. Then look for, okay, 2017, number 18 is here already. Then look for 1998, number 33. Okay, number 33. They also look for 1998, number 30. Tell me all the answers in the comment section, okay? Look for 1994, number 15. Look for 2023, number 36. All these are your exam, your assignment to look for. Okay, I think we're fine here. All right, so that's for that, okay? So I wish you all the best. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you for watching.